Thank you. We'll call the meeting of the Tennessee State School Bond Authority for July 22nd, 2024 to order. I will note there is a physical quorum present here. Comptroller Mumpower, Treasurer Lillard, Commissioner Bryson, Chris Mustaine representing Secretary Hargett, Luke Lybrand representing President Randy Boyd. As we get started today, I'll ask, have we had any requests for public comment?
No, sir, we have not.
Thank you. Members, the first item on the agenda today is approval of minutes from the May 14th, 2024 meeting. I hope you took time to go over those in the packet provided to you before the meeting. We have a motion and second to approve the minutes. Second. We have a motion properly seconded. Any questions or discussion about the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of the minutes, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? The item is approved. Next up, we have consideration for approval of revisions to the Tennessee State School Bond Authority debt management policy. I'll recognize Sandy Thompson, the Director of State Government Finance, to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Tennessee State School Bond Authority. My office, this Office of State Government Finance, conducted an extensive review of debt management policy for all three of our debt programs, including the Tennessee State School Bond Authority. In doing so, we actually reviewed paragraphs in there that needed some updating and some clarification. We did consult with our financial advisor and our issuers counsel in the AG's office to make sure that the language that we were using was appropriate and in accordance with law. And we did provide a summary of those changes to all of staff and to all the members.
Very good. Members, proposed revisions were in the packet you got before the meeting. Hope you took time to review those. We have a motion and second for the manual revisions. We have a motion properly seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the manual revisions, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? The item is approved. Next up, we have consideration for approval of the resolution to approve the borrowing of money by another method, the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, in regard to the corporate quarters. Austin Oaks, you are recognized.
Good afternoon, members of the authority. Our first request is on page 23 of your package. This is for the approval of borrowing by another method in the form of a lease amendment between UT and corporate quarters. The requested transaction here will amend the lease such that it will provide for up to 9 two-bedroom units with the lease term extended 1 year through July 31, 2025. The total cost over this period is $400,000, and we request your approval.
Very good, members. We have a motion and a second on this issue. I'll second. Have a motion properly seconded. What about questions or discussion on the issue? Seeing none, all those in favor of the item as described, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? The item is approved. Next up, we have consideration for approval of the resolution to approve the borrowing of money by another method, again for the University of Tennessee, this time for the Institute of Public Service Capitol Boulevard building lease. I will note this item was tentatively approved in the Executive Subcommittee of the State Building Commission earlier this morning, pending consideration of this item today. Austin Oaks, you're recognized.
Thank you. Our request here is on page 41 in your packet, and this is, as you mentioned, for the Institute of Public Service to have a lease amendment with the Tennessee Municipal League for property located at the Capitol Boulevard building here in Nashville. This request will extend the current lease for 3 years with a tenant right to terminate upon 180 days notice, and that right to terminate begins in August of 2025, so 1 year past the renewal period. The proposed rental rate for the extended term is $19.50 per square foot, with a total average annual effective cost of $293,000. We request your approval and are happy to respond to any questions on the lease.
Move approval. Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second to approve the item as described. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the item, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. The item is approved. Next, we have consideration for approval of a resolution to approve the borrowing of money by another method, again for the University of Tennessee, this time for the Institute of Public Service at the Polk Avenue location. Again, this item was approved earlier tentatively in the Building Commission this morning, pending this discussion this afternoon. Austin Oaks, you're recognized.
Thank you. Our third and final item is found on page 53 of your packet, and again is between the Institute for Public Service and SH Polk Avenue Associates LLC. The university proposes to amend the current lease to add approximately 12,000 square feet in a building located at 193 Polk Avenue in Nashville for the remainder of the existing term of our concurrent lease in that space, which is approximately 7 years. The lease for the existing 44,000 square feet continues through June 30th of 2031, and this agreement would add space to that existing lease at the same rental rate. That rate is $17.48 per square foot, and the total average annual effective cost for the entire lease would be $974,440.
Very good. We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion properly seconded to approve the item as described. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the item, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. The item is approved. Finally, on the agenda today, we have a report on the Tennessee State School Bond Authority Bond and Revolving Credit Facility Indebtedness. Sandy Thompson, State Government Finance, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the authority. This report is included in your packet. I'm just going to give you the highlights. These figures are as of June 30, 2024, and they are unaudited. As you can see, for our higher ed facilities program, bonds outstanding as of June 30, 2024, taxable $858,085,000, tax exempt $842,215,000 for a total of $1,700,300,000. And our revolving credit facility outstanding, we have taxable outstanding of $13,971,000, tax exempt $48,902,000 for a total of $62,874,000. As you can see there, we've got a range of the interest rates that we incurred during that period of time, fiscal year 2023 to 2024 for both the taxable and tax exempt revolving credit facility loans that were outstanding. And then we have the qualified school construction bond program. We have bonds outstanding for the Series 2009 of $177 million, our Series 2010, $212,440,000 for a total of $389,440. And we have a sinking fund balance that we've been collecting over a period of time from the borrowers. And for the Series 2009, that balance is $163,128,000. For the Series 2010, $182,082,000 for a total of $345,211,000. As you can see, we are reaching maturity of these series of bonds, which will be 2026 and 2027. So you can see we're almost there as far as the sinking fund goes, reaching that balance of debt that's outstanding.
Very good. Thank you, Sandy. Members, this was a report item. No vote necessary. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, the only other item on the agenda for the PSSBA today is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn? We have a motion to adjourn and properly seconded, non-debatable. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned.